You're listening to Heroes in the Moment. What's up, heroes? I'm Michael.
And I'm Nathan.
And today we're bringing you our ranking of the 2024 projects. So this is our most anticipated projects, 2024. Obviously, some are not as anticipated versus some of them more.
We're very anticipated. I think we gotta clarify. First of all, we're not talking about video games.
No.
We're not talking about DC animated movies, right?
No.
They never
We're
even talk about it, then they drop them
mainstream
on
stuff, right?
Mainstream, they'll either be on
movies and series.
Yeah, movies
so like
and
Disney
series.
Plus,
Disney Plus,
or the movie theaters, or Max, essentially, like in the main sense of what we're doing. And there's just a total of 12 coming out next year because I believe last year we had like 10 movies and 10 shows.
Way too much.
And I mean, some of them got pushed back, we saw, and this could happen to some of these, which I don't think so. I think most of these are pretty set in stone, except for one, I'm unsure.
Okay.
But there's 12 total. So this is intermixed between movies and shows from Marvel, Star Wars, DC, Sony Marvel, all of that together. All right, so we're going to rank them 12-1 for you guys based off of our anticipation of them. So 2024, are we ready to rank them? I know it's
listen,
coming
man.
so close.
You know I love me a good ranking.
All right. Well, who would like to start us off?
You know what, Michael? I think you should go ahead and start us off at number 12.
I'll start off at number 12.
12.
My least anticipated thing of 2024 project, I should say,
Okay.
is this may come as a surprise. It may come as a shock.
I'm ready to be surprised, Michael.
At 12 is Madam Web. I mean, it's certainly a movie coming out in theaters soon.
Certainly a movie of all time.
And that trailer was certainly a trailer. If I hadn't seen that trailer and knew that this was coming out, this would be higher.
Oh yeah, way higher. Maybe
not way higher.
All right, maybe like 9 to 10, maybe 8. Yeah,
but it would have been higher.
Yeah.
But that trailer was dog awful, and after finding out that the same people who wrote Morbius wrote Madam Web.
I love how they see the box office failure of Morbius, and they're like, dude, let's do it again.
Let's bring them back. Give them a second chance. There are no second chances in Hollywood. What are you talking about?
No, yeah.
It's ridiculous. That's my 12.
It's sad. But yeah, Michael, I'm going to have to agree with you here. In my 12th spot, I also have Madam Web. If you guys are wondering, we did a full podcast on it where we're essentially just laughing about it the entire time. But it looks atrocious. The dialogue looks terrible. They spell everything out. It looks bland. The villains look dumb.
It just looks so bad.
It just looks bad. Like we said, we already gave you guys our thoughts on that one and just how we would make the movie better. So shameless plug there if you want to go out and check our breakdown of that.
Absolutely. All right. In the number 11 spot, another Sony Marvel presentation. I have Kraven the Hunter.
Poor Sony.
Poor Sony. Listen, this trailer did not get me hyped. I love Russell Crowe, and I love Aaron Taylor Johnson.
Yeah, Aaron Taylor Johnson.
But this movie does not look good, and I've heard negative things, and I'm just not excited for it. So Kraven's my 11. Honestly, like it's just not good, you know?
Yeah, no, Michael, I think we're sharing the same mind here. I also have Sony Marvel's Kraven in my number 11 spot. It's an atrocity of a trailer.
Yeah.
They're just kind of dumbing down and making Kraven just a generic, I don't know, Arrow looks like, but even worse than the CW Arrow as it got on. It's just he gets his power from like a lion bleeding, and then
not even
he has a list, and then he kills a bunch of. It's like this is not Kraven at all. And I will say, dude, Aaron Taylor Johnson is such a good looking dude. Like, man, he for real is. But that's not going to put my butt in a theater. I want to see a good movie. So
I agree.
You know, Sony live action, I don't understand why you're bad.
I don't understand. They've only had one good film.
You are terrible.
They've had one decent film in its entire run.
It's not hard to not be generic.
That's true.
Dude.
And it's just funny. Like, I think of this stuff, you know, a lot of trailers use the plug of like from the studio that brought you, you know, Avengers Endgame. And Infinity War. Like,
here's the Marvel.
Here's this. But like with Kraven, like what can they use? Here's the studio that brought you Morbius like, and Madam Web and Venom, Let There Be Carnage. Like, how can you plug it?
It's bad, man.
It's so bad.
It's not hard, dude. Do you know how much source material they have at their fingertips that they continue to ignore? Literally, just follow a freaking comic book.
And nobody asked.
And I guarantee people would. Yeah, we didn't want this anyway. Personally, I don't think he's deserving of a movie. He should be. He should be a villain. And he would be a dope villain at that. I mean, anybody who's played Spider-Man 2 would know that. You know, it's just like. But that way, they wouldn't have this dumb backstory they're going with.
The lion's blood or whatever. So stupid.
He killed like Mufasa or whatever.
I know. Now we're cheering for the lions. Honestly.
We're cheering for the lions.
Ridiculous. All right, my number 10 spot. It's got to be Agatha Darkhold Diaries for me. I mean, I don't know a lot about this. I love Catherine Hahn. Let me put that out there first. I think
Yeah.
she's an incredible actress. I loved Agatha as a character. I just personally don't really think she necessarily deserves her own series at this point.
Yeah.
And from what I've heard of this series, it just doesn't really appeal to me that much. Again, I love Catherine Hahn. Loved her as Agatha in WandaVision. Thought she was incredible there, and I wanted to see more of Agatha. But I just, from what I've heard, what I've seen, it doesn't get me hyped for this show. So I have Agatha at 10.
Makes sense. Makes sense. In my 10th spot, I'm going with Skeleton Crew. Y'all know I do love Star Wars, but if it doesn't involve like Jedi and Sith and lightsabers, it tends to lose me at times.
Yeah.
I love Jude Law, but just the fact that we don't know too much about the show,
Right.
We barely have any details at all. It's just, how can I be excited for something that I have no idea what it's about? So that's
Right.
primarily the reason it's
Okay.
so low.
All right, I understand. All right, coming at my number 9 position, it's another piece of Sony Marvel, and that being Venom 3. I'm just listen.
At least it's not like the bottom.
It's
three.
not bottom 3. Like I gave Agatha, a little bit lower than Venom 3, just because I'm interested in finishing the trilogy, and I love the character of Venom. I love Tom Hardy as Eddie
Yeah,
Brock.
he's great. I love.
I
Tom
love
Hardy.
that, and Venom 1 I liked. I thought Venom 1 was a solid 7 out of 10 film.
Yeah.
Then again, Let There Be Carnage, and with Carnage being one of my favorite villains, Spider-Man wise, and them just doing so wrong. And I love Woody Harrelson.
I love him too, and I thought he did a great job.
I do for what he had.
Yeah.
It just the movie sucked. And then Venom 3, it just does not catch my eye as being that more appealing. I do know that it is rumored to be rated R and could be potentially, maybe benefit from that, but I don't know. So it just does not appeal to me that much. So I have it at 9.
In my 9, I have Agatha Darkhold Diaries as well. Like I said, we love Catherine Hahn. I don't feel like this show is needed.
No.
I feel like this feels more like a money grab after Marvel saw how well WandaVision did. I don't think any of us really wanted or really needed a backstory on this character. I don't know a ton about this show, to be honest with you. The premise, the concept of it sound cool, but like I said, it's not something I've circled on my calendar that I'm eagerly awaiting on Disney Plus.
No.
And
And I think it's scheduled for like an October Halloween release date, which
Okay.
fits. But
Yeah. But like I said, I'm not huge on it.
No, I agree. All right, at number 8, we are at 8. Yes, we're 8.
Yeah,
In my
8 now,
number
yeah.
8 position. Now, this would have been lower prior to the trailer we received. And it's the reason it's so low now is because I'm more hyped, just more hype in general for the other stuff
Okay,
coming.
okay.
And that being Echo.
Mm.
Again, we were both very much present like haters of this series. We did not want this. We did
Oh,
not
yeah,
ask
yeah.
for it. Then
We
the
pooped
trailer
on it all
dropped
the
and
time.
completely changed my mind. The fact that people from Better Call Saul are working on this, the fact that Kingpin and it's the first TVMA rated
Yeah.
MCU
Charlie
project.
Cox is coming back as Daredevil.
They're dropping it all, and it just looks super good and appealing based
Yeah.
off that trailer. It could go down or it could go up based off after we see it, and the fact that they're dropping it all at once and it will be a full season review at once. It just seems I'm just more excited than I was, so I have it at 8.
My number 8. My number 8. I'm going to Acolyte.
Ooh.
Yeah, I'm going to Acolyte. It's surprising here. I don't know, man. I'm not. When it comes to Star Wars Disney Plus shows, I'm not a huge fan, to be honest. I feel like the last really, really good one they had was Andor, and that was a completely different vibe. But I don't know, man. I'm just not huge on this project. I only seen like one set picture so far. I love the premise. I love the concept of it, going back, hundreds, thousands of years and seeing something we've never seen before.
Yeah.
But since that's all I know and we really haven't gotten, an actual trailer, I had to put it lower than these other projects.
Okay. All right. So at number 7 for me, I have Star Wars Skeleton Crew. Again, a lot of similarities for you. I don't know a lot about it. Again, I love Jude Law. I love the idea that it's going to be similar to Stranger Things and giving that 80s kind of vibe with Star Wars. I think that's super, super cool. But based off, I think it's supposed to take place like after Return of the Jedi and that kind of Mandalorian time zone, but I'm not certain. And we
Yeah.
just don't know anything about this series to properly put it. And who knows? This is one of them series that could be pushed back. And could not come out next year.
Yeah.
We're just not sure. There's not a certain release date for
Does
it
not
yet.
come out.
No, I want it to come out. I'm interested in the
Yeah.
premise of it. I love Star Wars, but I just don't know anything about it. So it's a 7 for me.
In my 7, I'm gonna go with Venom 3. I don't know. I don't have too much faith in this franchise, in this trilogy. Like
Yeah.
you already said, man, I love the character of Venom. I love Tom Hardy as Eddie Brock, but I don't know. Just seeing how rushed and how just the plot was so incomplete at the last one. I'm not too excited for this one, and knowing that this is probably gonna be like maybe his last performance as
Right,
Venom.
right.
It's kind of sad too because I feel like there's just so much more potential that was never tapped in with this movie.
It could be.
But I don't know. We know nothing about the movie.
We don't know a lot, but yeah, it's
Number
kinda,
7.
But it is what it is. All right, number 6 for me, I have X-Men 97. All right, again, I am hyped for this. This pretty much 6 up, I'm just ecstatic about. And that X-Men 97 is exciting. I watched the original 90s animated show. It's a great show. And the fact that it's coming back to finish the storylines it didn't get to finish. And the fact that we got teased that possibly these characters could translate to live action and be the characters. That's super, super cool and interesting
Fire.
to me.
Yeah.
And I really love the X-Men. I love the X-Men storylines. So I'm super excited to see this come out.
This is number 7 slot, right?
6.
In my 6th slot, I'm going with Echo. To all the reasons you said before, I was a hater previously. The trailer came out and just punched me in the face,
Yeah.
man. Like I said, they're going TVMA, which I'm very proud of Disney for doing because this project needs to be.
yeah.
You got Vincent coming back as Kingpin. You got Charlie Cox as Daredevil. It just has a darker, more mature tone, and I really think that this plot will actually be like a good story
It
because
looks like it.
you're hiring good writers. What a surprise! Who have proven success. So I'm excited for this one.
Yeah, it's going to be good. And our first project of 2024. So
It's actually
cool.
the first one.
yeah, it comes out January 10th, I think. So pretty early.
Ooh.
All right, it's coming soon.
Yeah, that's a
All right,
month.
number 5, entering our top 5.
Top
I
5.
have James Gunn's Creature Commandos in my number 5 spot.
That's
I'm
good.
super excited for this show. I think from what we don't know a lot. We know the casting and we know a little bit of the premise of the show. We don't have a trailer or anything about it.
Yeah.
But it looks sick. The animation from what we saw, the poster looks really cool. It's going to be the first kind of appetizer, like we talked about in our news, of the DCU, and it's just kind of kickstarting it all. It's just super, super appealing to me and what it sounds like. So I'm excited. Creature Commandos at 5 for me.
Number 5, I'm going X-Men 97. Very excited for this project. Very excited that potentially we could see these characters go back and forth from live action. I've only seen, I think like 4 or 5 episodes of the original, and I will watch it. But what I did see, I thoroughly enjoyed.
Yeah.
I think this will be stunning. I think it'll be a great piece of animation. And I'm excited for it.
Yeah,
So,
absolutely.
number 5.
All right, entering our top 4, I have the Acolyte in Star Wars. Now, I understand what you were saying before that we
Yeah.
don't know a lot, but the premise that we do know
It's fire.
honestly
really.
boosted up. Like if
Yeah.
if the next 3 weren't the top 3 and weren't coming out next year, this would be easily number 1. I mean, the whole premise, it's taking place during the High Republic era. You know, we're getting more Jedi, more Sith than we've ever seen before. Is just so appealing, and the fact that Squid Game star, I forget his name.
I forget his
I
name, too.
apologize for that.
The
is going to
red
be one of the-
hair guy.
Yeah, he turns his hair red, which I disagree
I was
with.
like, why?
But I know,
Okay.
why would you do that?
That was an interesting decision.
It's Korea. But like the whole fact of them doing that, I don't know. I just don't agree. What am I saying? I'm going back. What?
Yeah, what are you talking
What am I talking
about?
about? I messed up.
Yeah.
Anyway, I got mixed up. I got confused with. I was talking about Squid Games. All right. Anyway,
You're like, here's what they should have done with the show, man.
here's what they should have been on Squid. I love the
I
idea
love
of the
Squid
show,
Games, yeah.
and I love the fact like the actor in Squid Games was incredible, and I'm so excited to see him return in the Acolyte and just the whole. And we saw like a Wookiee Jedi, super cool in the set pictures and some
Yeah.
other stuff, and the whole Sith center point of the show, super appealing. So I have it at
Fire.
4.
That's fire. My number 4, I'm going Creature Commandos. Like you said, these top 3 are very clear. But with Creature Commandos, I mean, James Gunn doesn't miss. Excellent cast. I love how he's casting. I think this will be a little more darker, obviously. I'm thinking like, I don't know, something like Werewolf by Night animated on steroids. You know, I mean, obviously you have a team, and James Gunn excels at that. I just don't see a world where this is bad.
Yeah.
I really don't.
Yeah.
So I'm excited for it, and I got number 4.
All right, I completely agree. It sounds so good. All right, coming in the top 3, breaking the top 3,
three,
the ice of the top
baby.
3. I think now we have the same top 3.
I think it will be.
And that's fair. And number 3, and this one is Joker Folly to Dukes. This one is number 3.
At 3?
At 3, easily 3, compared to the other
3?
2. Yes, easily.
At 3?
So Joker.
Did you watch the first one?
I
Oh my
did.
goodness.
I did watch the first one, and the first one is a great movie.
The
It's
highest
super
grossing
great.
R project of all time.
It is, and it's a great movie. But I mean, it does have a 60 on Rotten Tomatoes, which is crazy.
This is dumb.
It's crazy.
That's so dumb.
That it does. But
They don't know
yes, I'm
nothing.
super excited for this show. What hinders, or not show, but movie, what hinders me is just a little bit like just some of the stuff that like doing a sequel of it doesn't feel necessary.
Yeah.
So that kind of gets me a little bit. I love the idea of Harley Quinn and Lady Gaga being Harley Quinn. It's
Yeah.
super cool and sounds super interesting. I'm just curious how they're going to do it. Joker 1, like you said, was incredible. But 3, I feel like it's deserving based off what we know about it and the fact that it did not need a sequel at all. So that's why I have it number 3.
Ooh, ooh. All right, at my number 3, I'm going with Penguin.
Mm.
I'm so excited for this show, man. I loved Colin Farrell's character in the Batman. I know that Matt Reeves is going to do this show justice. It looks like Gotham mixed with the mob boss vibes, The Sopranos mixed with I don't know what else. It looks fire. I don't see a world where this is bad in
I know.
any means.
No,
like
I
this
don't.
is gonna be. I won't be surprised if it got nominated for a couple of Emmys,
Oh, not
for a
at all.
couple performances.
Yeah.
But this show is gonna be fire. So I got number 3.
Okay, for me, I have number 2. I have the Penguin. Like same thing you said, like the Sopranos vibes, the drama, the esque of Gotham, and just expanding the Batman universe. And the reason this is above Joker is just because how much I love the Batman.
Yeah.
The Batman is just so incredible, and expanding of its universe is necessary. And the seeing those different things and those different outlooks from the perspective of Colin Farrell's Penguin, who I think is an incredible Penguin, is just so good and gets me so excited for the show. I think this will be the best show of 2023. That's in our realm, and it just looks so appealing to me. So I have it
Yeah.
too.
Number 2, I'm going with Deadpool 3. I mean, what more is there to say about it, man? It's gonna be fire, man. They're bringing back everybody. I think this movie's gonna save Marvel. I really do. This movie is gonna put. I think that's gonna be the most impressive feat it does. No matter what the box office is, obviously it's gonna make $1 billion plus.
This movie
It's gonna change all
Yeah.
those people who stopped watching Marvel to finally get
it
back
will.
into theaters.
It will.
You know, and like really, what else can you say? I mean, it's they're adventurous for doing this.
Oh, yeah.
but it's gonna work out.
It
so
will. It
I'm
will.
excited
And at
for
number
that
1 for me, I have Deadpool 3. It will. And I think this will outgross Joker as the first rated R project.
You think
It'll
so?
It'll be the highest rated. It will be. It has to be.
Yeah.
This movie's easily making $1 billion. If it doesn't, I'll be shocked. I mean, what it's got going. I mean, obviously Ryan Reynolds is Deadpool, Hugh Jackman's Wolverine, and the whole what this ties into, and the fact that this is the first rated R film in the MCU, the first transfer of the Fox characters
Yeah.
to the MCU. So cool, so appealing. Everything about this movie has just appealed me from the start. I love it, and I mean the first 2 are great. This one has the potential to be the best, and it's kind of not even really a 3. It's kind of a 1, a Deadpool,
Yeah.
a new Deadpool 1,
Yeah, new
and it's
version,
a
the
new
Disney version.
Exactly. So we're gonna see
Yeah.
that from that perspective and see how it works. But for me, it looks exciting. I know Sean Levy's got a lot of creative control,
Yeah.
along with Ryan Reynolds.
He
has
has
lot
a
of
great
control.
track record too.
He
both of
does.
them.
He does. So I cannot help but be more excited for Deadpool 3 than anything else. It's the only MCU movie coming out next year. It's just
That's
so
awesome.
exciting
I'm
to
excited for
hear,
that.
and I will be there July.
Yeah. And my number 1, I have Joker 2. So you said something, and I think I disagree with it, but you said you feel like the first one didn't need a sequel. But I think it does, because I think at the end of the first movie, I think there's some questions running through your head, like how much of what we saw was real. You
Yeah.
know, it's like he's having these mental problems. We don't know what's real. We don't know if this end scene is real. We don't know if he's ascended to some kind of Gotham superstar. I think it does need a sequel because it's about the journey of how he becomes Joker. So we've seen his progress to this point so far, and I think this next movie will really be about just him absolutely taking over, obviously with the help. So you have everything that worked for it in Joker 1, add in Lady Gaga, some fire music, and I don't know, man. Woo! I'm very excited for this project. If it
Yeah.
keeps the same tone, I mean, Todd Phillips is coming back. It's not too often that, you have your same director returning. And I'm very confident that, if Joaquin Phoenix is signing on for it, it's not going to be too bad. So,
No.
man, I'm pumped over the moon about
And
this one.
I agree. I'm pumped about it. I like the mystery aspect that it ended with.
yeah.
That's the reason I liked it so much, and the fact that's the story. And it is interesting to see a potential Joker 2.
Yeah.
I'm not dissing it. I mean, it's coming out. I'm hyped.
Yeah.
But to me, I like the idea of keeping it Joker.
It just
But
makes me wonder. So, obviously, now that he's doing this movie, it's like, is he going to attempt to turn this into something? Is he going to stop at maybe a trilogy, or is he going to expand into
I don't know.
something else?
I don't know.
Imagine if you had Phillips' version, you had Matt Reeves' version,
And that's the scariest.
you had James Gunn version, and then you
version.
have possibly a Zack Snyder Netflix version. Like,
Let's see. Let's count that up. Let's see. That's Joaquin Phoenix as Joker.
Joaquin
That's
Phoenix as
Barry
Joker.
Keegan's
Barry
Joker.
Keoghan as
That would
Joker.
be hopefully Willem Dafoe in Guns Universe's Joker.
Hopefully, yeah.
And then we would have Jared Leto's
Jared
Joker
Leto,
and
which,
Zack Snyder's.
man, he is so good. They did him dirty in Suicide Squad, but watching that end credit scene, dude, with
And
Jared
Zack
Leto
Snyder's.
and the I love that
was
version of him.
Yeah.
But
But I mean, it'd be kind of interesting unless James Gunn like pulls and says, "Okay, Joker's in our universe now," and like it's Joaquin Phoenix.
I hope he
but
doesn't.
I don't think Joaquin Phoenix would do that.
I mean, I think it's more money for DC the more
It is.
versions they have.
yeah, that's true. But
I
then
mean,
again,
I
it
like
gets,
the different
it gets
takes.
confusing for the casuals. It really
True.
does.
I
Like
mean,
having
true.
4 different Jokers.
Yeah.
That's so confusing.
I know.
And Mark
but-
Hamill just laughing at them all. Ha, mine's the best.
Dude, yeah, man, he is by far my favorite.
Imagine if he was like, they would have cast him like when he was younger as Joker,
Yeah.
like in live action.
Oh my gosh,
He'd been
he would have
sick.
been great. Picturing Luke Skywalker as Joker.
Honestly, though, he
Yeah.
would kill it.
Yeah,
Anyway,
he's amazing.
he is amazing.
All right, guys, if you enjoyed this episode, and thank you all to the ones who did listen, be sure to let us know and give us a download. If you guys want to stay up to date with all of our new episodes with a couple announcements, check out our Instagram, Heroes in the Moment.
Yes, and we just want to thank y'all for listening. And as always, we love you 2000.